Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Peter Barber. I am primarily a professional opera singer, music producer, and a bass vocalist. Today we're going to be checking out Jisoo, and the song is called Flower. Now, I saw some other reactors making videos for this. This came out 2 days ago and it has over 60 million views. I can't even comprehend that amount of viewership in 2 days. So I don't know what's happening in this video, but I was eager to check it out. Guys, this is a first time reaction and analysis video, so I will be pausing the video primarily to talk about vocal technique, as that is where my expertise lies, with the goal of bringing as much value to your listening experience. My goal with all these videos is to help you all hear and enjoy and appreciate these amazing artists as much as possible. So that's really my goal. Primarily educational, secondarily entertainment, of course. You do get the first time reaction. If I am bringing value to your listening experience, please consider joining my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. It's the best possible way to support me. Otherwise, please like, subscribe, leave a comment for the algorithm. Check out my merch store if you want to get a hat like this. And without further ado, let's jump in and see what the hell is going on for this to get 62 million views in 2 days. I'm like absolutely shocked. Let's do it. All right, so just vocally in the, also really cool beat, by the way. Hold up, bring some music production into this. So this cool, like, there's these obviously kick drums happening. We got snaps happening, which is cool. But then there's like this kind of like off-pitched tone happening in simultaneously with the kick drum, and adds a really cool effect to it. So she's got these glottal attacks on these pitch. A glottal attack on a pitch is when the vocal folds come together quickly. So instead of what's called a coordinated onset, it would be like, she's like, it's just a little bit more of an aggressive attack to the vocal production there. But very clean. Once the vocal folds are together, it's an efficient sound. I mean, there's not much extra breathiness coming through. The vocal folds are coming together in an efficient, healthy way and staying together. And then she's allowing a little bit more breathiness to come in as that last note kind of fades out. There's like a little breathiness as she fades off the pitch there. Same thing there. And so we have multilingual, right? Or A, B, C, do, re, mi at the first part. On this first pitch, we have a little bit of a slide vocal fry. A, B, C, A, B, C. A vocal fry is below your, well, you can actually bring it up much higher like she's done here. Generally, when you vocal fry, it's when you go down below your actual chest range. You get to that vocal fry place down here. It's kind of like a disconnected form of vocal production, but it's a great effect for especially certain kinds of emotions. A lot of singers like starting pitches or starting phrases with a slide, especially in country music. You hear a lot of like, yep, yep, at the start of like a country music phrase. But she uses just a slight vocal fry at the start of this phrase. And it, you know what, it just adds a little bit of like interest and intrigue and a little bit of like a unique flair as opposed to just coming straight in the middle of the pitch. If you add a little vocal fry scoop, it adds a little bit more nuance to the phrase. Sorry for that pause there, that brief pause. So she's staying fully connected chest voice the whole time. Up to C5. So the highest pitch we got in that whole sequence was a C5, aka tenor high C, which, believe it or not, even for a female singer, that is getting up into high range for a purely connected chest voice. So up to, these are A4, so like a tenor high A right here. Obviously this at this point very comfortable, right? When you get up to that C5, it gets to a really belting in chest voice. That's getting up into belt register, high, fully connected chest voice. And when you get up into this range, functionally, physiologically, it is very much like yelling. Belting is essentially a healthy, breath-supported, efficient way of yelling, as opposed to if a female artist is to sing really high, like an operatic soprano, that's like a really healthy, efficient form of screaming. If you scream, it's generally in your head voice, and yelling is like a fully chest-connected sound. So when you get, it's really interesting, functionally, very similar. So like when you hear someone belting in musical theater, or like Jisoo has just done in this pop song, it is, you can kind of think of it like she's really, it really is like it's beautiful yelling. Pretty much is what it is, which is just, it's interesting how similar they are. Okay. Before we go on, and listen, I'm sure this music video is super creative and the story is creative. There's no way for me to have the bandwidth, or you guys wouldn't want me to analyze every part of the video as well, or this video would be an hour and a half long. So I'm going to stick to the vocal technique primarily, but rest assured, I can tell there's phenomenal cinematography going on. I'm sure there's a great storyline. But for God's sake, I can't comment on absolutely everything. It would take too long, and it would take me outside of my expertise. Something I do find interesting about the video, having said that, is there's not a ton of lip syncing going on. Meaning, for the most part, it's following this character around. Usually in music videos, you have the lead character of the music video singing the lyrics the whole time, or most of the time. But for this video, that's not really the case. What I came back to talk about is that now we actually, in this bridge section, or whatever part of the section we're on, I can think about that in a second, we get a dichotomy between her singing in chest voice and actually flipping up into a head voice on those passages. She actually flips from a pure chest voice up into a head voice. And you can tell because the sound gets lighter. It's a lighter mechanism. It's more breathy. Generally, that unless you have trained a lot in that part of your range, it's naturally going to be the vocal fold closure is not going to be quite as efficient. So you go from a very pure chest voice sound to a breathier, lighter head voice sound in those passages. So just check that out. You can hear the flip up. Here she does it again here, ready? And then back into chest voice. Where did they film this? It's just a gorgeous location. All right, so first phrase of this second verse is vocally pretty much the same as the first things we heard her sing, but then it changes halfway through. So that's all the same, right? But now we have a different melody. The first verse when we heard this, it repeated pretty much the same twice in a row. This time we have a new melody and a different approach, as at some point she flips up into her head voice. Chest voice, chest voice, head voice. You can tell, you guys can tell, there's a lighter mechanism when she flips up. And quite literally, there is less vocal fold mass vibrating. In a pure chest voice, it's the whole vocal fold mass vibrating. When you go into a lighter head voice, it's just the very edges of the vocal folds. It's just what's called the mucosal membrane, which is about 10% of the vocal folds. Very sciencey look at the difference in registration there. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so leading into this second chorus here, this would be the second bridge. It's higher, right? She's opting up higher on notes compared to the first bridge, and she sings most of them in that lighter head voice place. But like the first bridge, right at the end, she goes into that pure chest belting part, which I mentioned earlier is a lot like a healthy yell. I would also be remiss if I didn't say she is absolutely stunning. Okay, I'm gonna plant that flag there. Absolutely stunning. E5, that's the highest we've heard so far. Oh, that's cool. So in the mirror, she's singing the text, but in her like real life version, she's not. I'm sure there's some very cool messaging happening that I'm just, like I said, it's a bandwidth issue. I can't comment on the poetry, which I obviously don't understand, being an English speaker, and the videography and everything else poetic thrown in there. I'm just talking about vocal technique for the most part. There was one more thing in that second verse that I'm not going to go back to, but there was a higher plucked instrument that was in the background of the piece that was not there during the first verse. So we had a little bit more instrumental fabric underlying the singer in that second verse. And I like that. I like the piano that's in this, but I don't remember if it's in the first bridge or the piano that's kind of doing an arpeggio. Now it's... So this is... So that is all vocally sampled effects that have been like warped and pitched up and down and stuff. This is a very, very common technique used in electronic music, like dubstep. Skrillex was known for it. DJ Snake did a lot of it back in the mid 2010s, where you just take some vocal samples and you really mess with them and put them all over the page. You could all over the place. You can almost make it sound like you can almost create new words by using like this effect where you just take like a syllable here, a syllable there, you pitch it up and down. It almost sounds like a new weird language. Anyway, that's what's happening in this middle section. So they sampled Jisoo's voice, most likely. I don't know why they would sample someone else's, and then just like pitched it and like messed with it a bunch. I actually like that chord progression a lot. Let's see what's up with that. Do, so we're still in A. We're still in A minor, right? So we have F major. That's fitting for that's the sixth major in a minor key. Leading towards an Aeolian cadence. And then we get this leading tone, which is not in A minor. We get this G sharp. That's sick. Is that what happens? Where does that come from? G. Yes. Fascinating. So we get a 5 major in A minor. So we have F major, G major, E major, which normally in A minor would be E minor. We get E major. That's where we get that leading tone, and it has a really cool effect, and I'm obviously very excited about it. Then we go down to D minor. And there's that one again. Super cool, really cool chord progression. So in this last section here, we had her singing. We also had those vocal effects happening at the same time. Now, it's very standard in the last chorus of a song to kind of bring all the elements together, right? Make it as exciting and climactic as possible, which is what we see here and hear here. So we have all the elements happening at once, right? So A, that song was a bop. B, she's stunning. C, I have a feeling if you're still here, I can't imagine anyone else analyzing the vocals from this song as much as I just did in a painstaking manner. So that's what I do here on the channel. I really don't do like popular music really. It's more niche kind of genres or artists that are really popular but don't have like a huge following. They're like obsessive followings, like just like a few million people, which is still a ton, obviously still major artists, but like I think people like Dimash. Like Dimash's most popular song has like 20 million views. This has 62 million in 2 days. So this is like superstar. Somehow I haven't heard of her until now. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something. For God's sake, if you're still here, it's probably the first time you've heard someone analyze her voice like this. And I hope I added value to your listening experience. I hope you gained appreciation for this artist. That is my whole goal. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment. Join my Patreon family if you really enjoyed. Check out the merch store if you want to buy a hat or a shirt or the sweatshirt or a sticker or a coffee mug. Greatly appreciate it. All great ways to support me. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want me to cover more from this artist or other really popular artists like her, leave a comment below and I would be happy to do so. I'm always happy to expand my marketplace and expand my horizons. You know, when I make these videos, I'm often listening to artists I've never heard before. So I hear things that I haven't heard before and I get to analyze things I've never heard before. So it's always fun for me to do this as well, especially these first time reactions, which is mostly what I do on this channel. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.